The noble lady spoke. I am so sorry, this is my fault. Elysia replied, I am sorry too, I was not paying attention, that is such a lovely dress, I am terribly sorry it got dirty. I brought another dress with me that I think would look absolutely beautiful with your hair color. I know it is not a sufficient apology, but would you please accept it? The noble lady replied, of course. Elysia told her, wonderful, wait right here. The nobles were chatting, that is Lady Elysia, Duke Lauren's daughter, she is so beautiful. Even watching her work is breathtaking. I heard she is here as a candidate to marry the crown prince. Elysia thought, I am the quintessential lady, or at least I was. Now in the present time, a maid came and shouted, you are still sleeping. You are just dead weight in this household now, hurry up and get out, you are going to clean the bathroom by yourself today. Elysia thought, I was raised for one solitary purpose, to marry into the royal family, that meant I had to be perfect at absolutely everything. Otherwise, father did not spare me at all, I endured it all, worked hard to play the role of the perfect lady, but it all went up in flames that day, she thought, this is not good. The duke came and spoke, you useless fool. After that, they offered a scared lady to the crown prince. So my father immediately began showing favor to my younger sister. I had no choice but to work as a servant in order to be fed. I am finally done. Is my life going to be like this forever? Should I just give up and run away from here? Father no longer cares about me one bit. No one would come after me if I just climbed down the tree, but if I did run away, where would I go? The servant came and spoke, my lady, this is for you. It is an invitation to a party to celebrate the recovery of the crown prince, who has been ill for some time. The duke says for you to get ready at once. Elysia thought, father said that, father still needs me. Then at night, Elysia thought, I have not left the house since my accident, don't worry, just act natural and you will be fine. The nobles started chatting, why did she even come here? Look, it's her, I heard her accident was divine retribution. Look at those gloves. Her burns must be very severe, that poser got what she deserved. Elysia thought, for father and Adele. The nobleman asked, isn't that your daughter? The duke replied, no, I only have one daughter. Elysia thought, father does not need me at all. He just could not ignore an invitation from the royal family, no one needs me anymore. Second Prince Giles asked, what? Elysia thought, that silver hair, the royal crest, the second prince, Giles Alexis, the king's illegitimate son who lived in the slums until just last year. I have occasionally heard about his bratty behavior. The prince said, get off your high horse. Elysia thought, he scoffed at me. The knight spoke, Prince, the crown prince's speech is coming up soon. The prince replied, shut up, don't tell me what to do. Elysia thought, well, the rumors were right, he has no manners at all. The nobles were chatting, what a brute, is he even human? Another one said, don't forget he is still technically a prince. A lady commented, please, no one will even accept him as such. They are still looking for a new tutor for him, but nobody wants the job. Elysia thought, this feeling, this is the same way people treat me. The prince stated, your makeup's smudged, you old hag. The noble lady shouted, what? The prince started laughing. Elysia thought, that goes beyond being incredibly rude, but it takes a lot of guts to stand up for yourself in this situation. The knight said, the speech has already started, where did he go? Elysia replied, I am sorry, I will be right back, I need to go apologize for rudely bumping into the prince. She thought, my heart feels a bit lighter for some reason. Elysia spoke, Prince, about before, please wait. She thought, it's been a while since I wore heels, I can't run, actually, this may be the first time I have ever run in heels, what is he doing? No way, where did he go? Did he jump over there? That is exactly what I could not do that day. I have spent my whole life following my father's orders, and I have never had the courage to take a step out for myself. But this time, I have to go. I made it. Oh no, is this the time for my end? The prince grabbed her. The prince asked, what the heck do you think you are doing? The next moment he lost his balance and went down also. After that, both of them looked at each other. The prince shouted, what kind of idiot just jumps out a window? Elysia replied, I am sorry. The prince continued, aren't you some kind of heiress anyway? Elysia told him, yes, but you are the prince. She thought, but if I had fallen, I would have been hurt. I heard he was quite scary, but deep down, I think he is a kind person, she said. Prince, thank you so much for saving me. She thought, where is he looking? So, there is. He is looking at Lady Maryanne Durand. She is the most popular lady in high society. Illegia asked, "Are you looking at Maryanne? Do you have feelings for her?" The prince replied, "Shut up, hurry up and go inside." Illegia continued, "Have you gone to speak with her yet? Where are you going?" The prince asked, "You heard the rumors about me, didn't you?" Illegia replied, "I have heard something about you." The prince asked, "What noble's daughter would like it if some illiterate guy like me approached her?" Illegia told him, "But you are a prince, after all." The prince spoke, "Before, I was just Giles from the slums, don't get the wrong idea. I don't think I am better than you or anything. I am just saying we are from two different worlds, that's all." Illegia thought, "I see, he has his sense of self beyond just being a prince, but if I lose my identity as the perfect lady, I am left with nothing. I have this feeling that, if I get to know him better, maybe I can change." Illegia spoke, "I know this is very presumptuous of me, but would you consider hiring me as your tutor? I am confident I could teach you etiquette, reading, and writing, history, and music too." The prince replied, "Stop being so loud." Illegia continued, "I don't have any teaching experience, not really anywhere, but I can get Maryanne to turn your way." The prince asked, "What, are you making fun of me? You were serious?" Illegia replied, "Yes." Then she asked, "Prince, where are we going?" After that, the prince told her, "Keep going straight and you will get to the ballroom. You nobles are all talk. I won't trust any of you. Now stop making fun of me already." Illegia thought, his eyes were so cold, what can I do to make him trust me? Wait. Next scene, Illegia thought, the amount of things I need were surprisingly few, now I have to go. Adele came and asked, "What is this? Just where do you think you are going?" Servant, "Look at that ugly dress. How can you tolerate wearing such old-fashioned rags? I have never understood your terrible fashion sense. Well, do you think you are going somewhere, you useless thing? You can't do anything right. You can't even clean. You will just die alone, you know." Illegia replied, "Take care." Adele shouted, "What? How dare you? Get off your high horse." Illegia told her, "That dress makes you stick out like a sore thumb. Father will strike you if he sees you in it. Hurry up and go change." Adele shouted, "Just who do you think you are, who said you could live, if father finds out?" Illegia replied, "Father already knows. You did not even look me in the eye when I told him, but he knows, I should be going now." She thought, "Honestly, I am a little nervous. I want him to trust me. I want to help him. I abandoned my family name. Now all I can do is take this risk." After that, the prince asked, "I told you to stop making fun of me, didn't I? Are you stupid or something? Who just shows up to the royal palace unannounced? People in the slums are not even as nuts as you are." Illegia commented, "I will take that as a compliment. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Illegia. I have come to be your tutor." After some time, the prime minister thought, the oldest daughter of a duke, the second prince in name only, are these two involved? And now the young lady has shown up to the castle unannounced. This will be the biggest scandal in the royal family's history. I am supposed to be in charge of the prince. They will have my head for this breach of protocol. The prime minister asked, "Would you please explain what is going on here?" Illegia replied, "I humbly apologize for my rudeness, but since I have no official backing from anyone, I had no other choice but to take matters into my own hands." The prime minister asked, "Why have you come here?" He thought, she was removed from the pool of candidates to become the future queen due to her burn. Of course, I feel sorry for the girl. Illegia told him, "I have come here today to volunteer for the job as Prince Giles' tutor. Actually, at yesterday's party, I witnessed the prince being incredibly rude to a lady there." The prime minister asked, "What did you say?" The prince replied, "What?" The prime minister continued, "Your Highness, don't tell me you were rude again." The prince commented, "She was an old hag, so I called her an old hag." Illegia continued, "I can tell just by the way he speaks that His Highness is not being properly educated." The prime minister shouted, "Yes, he has been very well educated. I'll have you know, this is the result of tutors. He can't even wear his clothing properly. He is disrespectful to the high-ranking nobles we have asked to tutor him, and he has angered them across the board. What could a lady like you possibly do in the face of such a little scoundrel?" Illegia explained, "It is true that I am more inexperienced than the other ladies and gentlemen who came before me. But the prince and I are close in age, so I think I have a better chance at understanding his feelings." The prime minister replied, "Very well, but first we must have a meeting." Illegia spoke, "There are not many people who can teach him in every subject like me. Please appoint me as his tutor." The Prime Minister told her, "There is an order to such things." Illegia commented, "1 week, please give me 1 week." Illegia continued, "If you have had 5 tutors try and fail, surely the Parliament is tired of hearing about this subject. I promise you will see a change in the prince in a week. Then you can bring the matter before Parliament. In fact, that will be the most effective way of doing so. Whether it works or does not, you have got nothing to lose." The Prime Minister replied, "Very well, I agree," Illegia said. "Thank you so much." The Prime Minister told him, "Please don't cause trouble for her under any circumstances." The prince asked, "What are you looking at?" The Prime Minister shouted, "I said I agree, now away with you. I can't work in these conditions." Illegia thought, "I am so happy." The prince asked, "So what happened in there?" He had actually stopped listening halfway through. Illegia told him, "He agreed to give me a trial period of 1 week as your tutor, and then once I show results." The prince stated, "Stop getting carried away. Listen, I don't know what you are after. But I am sure you are just another stupid noble who is gonna play the victim when things don't go your way. Plus, there is no rule that says I gotta listen to you." After 4 days, the Prime Minister thought, 4 days have passed since then, I have heard complaints every day since. Then he heard Illegia saying, "Prince, I just want to talk, that is all, please come out." The Prime Minister asked, "How are things going?" Illegia replied, "I am having quite a difficult time." The Prime Minister asked, "I have heard a vase broke during one of your amusing games of tag." Illegia replied, "I am terribly sorry." The Prime Minister continued, "And I heard you sprained your ankle." Illegia commented, "I was running after him when I tripped." The Prime Minister emphasized, "Perhaps you should just give up." Illegia told him, "No, I still have more time." The Prime Minister explained, "I just simply don't understand why you are going to such lengths for him." He thought, "I am sure your father was the one who instigated all this. It is quite an outlandish scheme, using Prince Giles to work your way into the palace, but I will admit, it is clever, but now you have seen how the prince is." The Prime Minister told her, "Go ahead and tell your father he is wasting his time. What is it?" Illegia replied, "You are mistaken. My father truly has nothing to do with this. It is hard for me to explain, but the prince saved me. I could not make any decision on my own. But it was like he showed me the way. I came here because of my own decision. I want to help the prince, and I want to change as well," she thought. "Plus, I want to support a boy in love." The prince thought, "What the heck?" Illegia said, "Pardon, I was rambling." The Prime Minister commented, "You have 3 more days, please make the most of them." Illegia replied, "Thank you so much." The Prime Minister thought, "So that idiot is on the tree, then I think I should help that lady." He shouted, "However, you could turn heaven and earth upside down, and I doubt that little brat would ever change." Illegia asked, "Are you sure about that?" "I think once he learns how to speak politely, he will be a lovely gentleman." The Prime Minister continued shouting, "Absolutely not. He is a little scoundrel who has only made more work for me. He is twisted to the core. That is why he can't grow taller. Well, good luck, you will need it." After that, the prince came down shouting, "Who are you calling a little brat, you old goat? I hope you go bald, you old bag of bones," Illegia said. "So that is where you were." The prince spoke, "I will hear what you gotta say." Next scene. The Prime Minister said, "It has been 1 week today." He thought, "The prince is well dressed, oh my goodness." Illegia told him, "Your Highness, scoffing is not allowed." The Prime Minister asked, "How in the world did you make this happen?" The prince shouted, "That is what I want to know. All I said was that I would hear her out and then." He thought, "And this lady did all these things." Illegia told him, "Please calm down." The prince said, "It is all your fault." The Prime Minister stood up. The prince spoke, "You are probably just gonna say this is how I should always look, I know that." The Prime Minister replied, "Yes, that is true, but that does not mean it is not something to be commended." The prince asked, "What is commended?" Illegia replied, "It means to be told, 'Good job,' or 'Good boy.'" The prince said, "Are you making fun of me? Just so you know, I did not do it because I wanted someone to tell me that. Your faces are so annoying. Do whatever you want, I don't care anymore." The Prime Minister told her, "I have heard how exemplary you were, but I had no idea the extent of it. Please continue working as the prince's tutor." Illegia replied, "Of course. It would be my honor." After that, the prince asked, What do you want? Illegia replied. I just wanted to apologize. I know I was trying to get fast results this week, but I did so by putting your feelings on the back burner, and for that I am truly sorry. The prince commented, well, now that you said you were sorry, now I feel like I gotta apologize too, and I am not gonna apologize. So, what did he say? Illegia replied, he officially hired me to be your tutor. The prince then remembered when he was on the ground, some lady came and gave him bread and a napkin. There was something written on that napkin. The prince spoke, I wanna learn how to read. And what is that expression? Illegia replied, nothing, of course, please leave it to me. Is there something in particular you would like to read? The prince told her, no. Illegia spoke, well, let's do our best. On the other hand, the crown prince came and asked, what is it? You are in an awfully good mood today. The prime minister replied, do you need something? The crown prince said, yes, the castle has been pretty noisy lately. I was wondering if you knew something about it. The prime minister told him, well, we have finally found a new tutor for Prince Giles. Do you remember Duke Lauren's daughter, Lady Illegia? If not for that tragic accident, she would have made a fine queen for you, but thanks to her, now Prince Giles may finally shape up a bit. The crown prince said, I see, if a lowly scum like him can actually change, that would be a sight to see. Next scene. The prince is trying to write, then shouted, I can't do this. Illegia told him, you have to do this. There is no escape. Let's work for just a little longer. After some time, the prince said, finally done. Illegia spoke, wonderful job. The prince continued, my hand hurts. Illegia told him, you will get used to it. Shall we take a little break? The prince commented, I thought I told you I want to learn how to read, don't give me that. Illegia replied, you will learn how to read letters faster if you practice writing them. She thought, he will get angry if I tell him the real reason is because I want him to master writing too while he has the motivation. The prince started reading, A, B, C, then he asked, what is this? Illegia replied, D, C, you will learn how to read in no time. The prince said, but then you will be out of a job. Illegia replied, not at all, there is much more for you to learn, after all, we want your crush to look your way. The prince asked, you remember that? Illegia commented, I have a good memory. The prince started drinking the tea. The next moment, he shouted, hot. Illegia thought, still, his room is so dislocated, and he is so thin it is hard to believe he is royal. She asked, are you being sure to finish your meal? The prince told her, I am eating. Gotta eat when you can, after all. Illegia thought, that is right. He was raised in the slums, so it is hard to imagine he is a picky eater. In that case, she said, that is very close, Your Highness, you are doing a good job. The prince asked, what do you mean? Then he said, I am done for the day. After that, he said, stop following me. Illegia replied, I can't do that. The crown prince came and spoke, I thought I heard your voice, long time no see. Illegia thought, first time I have seen him since I got injured. She replied, I did not realize you were there. The crown prince continued, it is fine. I was not watching where I was going. I am surprised. I hear you are a tutor now. Illegia thought, why is he completely ignoring Prince Giles's presence? The crown prince stated, although I can't say I approve of your student, who knows when he might do something violent towards you. He is like a stray dog, after all, so he should look and eat like the stray dog that he is. Illegia thought, eat like a stray dog. The reason behind Prince Giles's gaunt frame must be because of the quality of his food. The crown prince asked, I know, how about I hire you instead? Do you know how to clean? Illegia replied, I am terribly sorry, but I must respectfully decline, if you will excuse me. Come, Prince Giles, the prince asked, what are you so angry about? Illegia replied, I am not angry. The prince told her, go take a look at yourself in the mirror and then try to say that. Illegia commented, Your Highness, would you mind going on ahead back to the room and waiting for me, please? The prince asked, where are you going? Illegia stated, I just remembered an important errand. After that, Illegia shouted, excuse me, I have come to speak with you about Prince Giles's meals. The king was also there. Illegia was stunned. She thought, the 8th king of España, His Majesty Desiderio Alexis, despite his intimidating appearance, I have heard that he is quite a free-spirited person. The Prime Minister spoke, Your Majesty, perhaps it is time for you to return. The king started smiling. The Prime Minister continued, I am sorry, but His Majesty can be quite stubborn. Illegia replied, not at all, I apologize for barging in. The king spoke, no worries, just pretend I am not here. Illegia thought, I really should just come back later. The Prime Minister told him, Your Majesty, this is Illegia, she is Prince Giles's new tutor. Illegia said, it is an honor to meet you, Your Majesty. The king started smiling. The Prime Minister asked, what did you need? Illegia replied, I came to consult with you about Prince Giles's nutrition. He is frail, thin, and I am very concerned about his health. I think we should completely rework his meal plan. The Prime Minister explained, I have consulted with the chef numerous times about this very matter. However, he is very picky and won't eat anything, no matter what he is served. Illegia thought, that is not what the prince said. The king stated, perhaps we should have a family dinner. I have been wanting to do this for a while now. Giles has finally joined our family, and yet we have not eaten together even once, so that is what we will have to do. I will let you take care of the details. I am counting on you. Both of them thought, this is not good. Illegia thought, if Prince Giles dines with His Majesty as things stand now, it is all over. The Prime Minister asked, how is the prince's education going? Illegia replied, it is still difficult for him to sit still through meals. The Prime Minister stated, very well, I will have to postpone the date for the dinner as much as possible, and I will tell the chef to prepare full courses for him until then. Illegia told him, I would like to leave the meal planning up to you. The Prime Minister thought, she must have a reason. He replied, very well, then I shall take charge of the matter. Good luck to us both. After that, the prince shouted, what took you so long? You said you would just be a little. Did something happen to you? Illegia told him the details. She thought, he has zero interest. I figured as much. Right now, the prince is only interested in learning how to read. Forcing him to attend a dinner party now will only be a burden to him. The prince asked, when is it, the dinner? Illegia replied, you mean you will attend? The prince commented, I mean, it sounds like a huge pain and I don't really wanna, but if I don't go, you are probably gonna get fired, aren't you? Illegia replied, it is certainly possible. The prince stated, well, that would be a huge pain too. In the slums, helping each other out is just what we do, so don't get all cocky about it. Illegia told him, I won't, thank you so much. But it is not polite to point. Well done. We don't have much time, so I would like to start a class on table manners right away. What have you learned so far? For example, the proper way to eat with a fork and knife. The prince asked, what is a fork? After some time, the prince said, oh no, now I am all wet. Look at this. This is good, right? And what about this? Illegia replied, good job sitting down properly. The prince started laughing. Illegia thought, what should I do? The prince commented, this is hilarious. Illegia asked, are you doing this on purpose? The prince replied, I don't know, am I? Illegia told him, you are going to make me angry. The prince continued, yes, I am scared. Illegia thought, the more I scold him, the less effective it is. The prince asked, what, are we already done for the day? Illegia said, you must sit a short distance away from the table like so. Once you are seated, place the napkin on your lap. You may only rest your wrists lightly on the table, not your elbows. Hold the knife and fork with your index finger pressing on them like so. The prince thought, so boring, then he used that method. Illegia said, you did that really well. Now excuse me for a moment. It is perfect. You are just not used to this, that is all. But I think you are an even faster learner than me. What's the matter, Your Highness? Are you feeling embarrassed? The prince replied, shut up, you talk too much. A maid came and told them, I have brought the meal as requested. Illegia replied, thank you, she said, this is the appetizer. The prince said, this is not what I usually eat. Illegia asked, Your Highness, what do you usually eat? The prince replied, mainly bread and stuff. The maid commented, please take a seat. Illegia explained, I can't, even though we are practicing, I can't possibly eat with a member of the royal family. The maid said, this is an order from the king himself. He said he thinks it will be difficult for the prince to learn on his own without proper demonstration. The prince told her, hurry it up already. Illegia said, thank you for having me at the table. The prince ate like this, then asked, this is super delicious, isn't it? Illegia also asked, it is delicious, isn't it? The prince replied, yes. Illegia commented, "It really is." Then they started eating and chatting. On the other hand, the crown prince shouted, "Eat with that savage. I can't believe he even has the nerve to call himself a member of the royal family." A servant told him, "Your Highness, please calm down." The crown prince started coughing up blood. He thought, "They just brought him here in case something happened to me. That is all. You filthy rat, you won't get away with this." Next scene, Illegia asked, "And how do you eat with knives and forks?" The prince replied, "From the outside in." Illegia asked, "But what do you do when you wipe your hands?" The prince replied, "Use the napkin." Illegia continued, "How big is an appropriately sized bite?" The prince said, "Half the size of a bite I want to eat." Illegia commented, "There, perfect." She thought. The prime minister began to supervise the preparing of the prince's meals, which solved that problem. According to the prince, he had been served very meager meals, but the servants all denied it. Unfortunately, now that his meal plan has been adjusted, searching for the culprit would just create more enemies than it's worth. The prince asked, "How long is it gonna take, anyway?" Illegia replied, "You mean the dinner? Probably about 2 hours or so. His Majesty is quite the talkative person, so it might even take longer than that." The prince said, "Stay here and wait for me." Illegia replied, "All right, I was planning to, unless it's a bother." A servant came and told him, "It is time." The prince commented, "What a pain." Illegia told him, "Even though it is a dinner party, remember that it is not an official event. You are eating with your family." The prince replied, "My family, I will be back. Be a good girl and wait for me." Illegia thought, "Please be a good boy and behave yourself." Scene change. The king spoke, "Well, I have to tell you, I was quite curious when everyone said how bad it was, but it is much better than I thought." The prince thought, "Crap, I was listening. Stop talking to people when you are trying to concentrate already." The queen stated, "How dare you behave in such a way, when His Majesty just complimented you?" The prince thought, "Wait, was that a compliment?" The queen continued, "It is just as I thought. You don't belong in a place like this." The king stated, "That is enough." Illegia remembered, "Now, if you are ever unsure of how to respond, you just smile and say thank you, and most of the time the other person will interpret this in a positive way." The prince told him, "Thanks, man." The king was shocked. The queen shouted, "How outrageous." The king started laughing, then he said, "It is fine. This is how boys should act." The crown prince thought, "That cocky attitude won't last for long. I will put you in your place. Here is tonight's main course. That is very good, boy, now you eat that." The next moment, the king asked, "What is wrong?" The prince thought, "How is this in the meal?" The crown prince stated, "Perhaps this meal is too fancy, since you are used to the food in the slums." The crown prince thought, "This is the best feeling ever." He asked, "What, is there something you would like to say?" He thought, "That's right, if you attack someone during a meal with the royal family, you are done for, and you can go back to your garbage life. There it comes." "What is happening?" The prince asked. "What?" The crown prince thought. Why didn't he have an outburst? But that is impossible for this brute. The king asked, "What is the matter? Are you not feeling well?" The crown prince replied, "No, I am fine, it is nothing." After that, the prince thought, "It is finally done." The king spoke, "I guess we should call it a night." The king stated, "Collect Giles' napkin." The servant replied, "Yes, your majesty." After some time, another servant asked the prince. The crown prince shouted, "Shut up, leave me alone." He thought, "Why, I had a perfect childhood and upbringing. I am the son of a king. So why must I be tormented by that disgusting piece of garbage? I have to do something." Scene change. The crown prince tried to attack him with the knife. The next moment, the prince defended himself and threw the crown prince on the ground. Then he asked, "You still want to fight?" The crown prince stated, "What is your problem? After all that, why didn't you lose your temper?" The prince spoke, "Shut up and stop yelling already. I will do exactly what you have done to me, right here and now." I let it slide for her sake, because that idiot. The crown prince said, "I won't accept you. I won't accept that lowly scum such as you as my brother or my family." The prince replied, "Well, I feel the same way." After that, the prince thought, "Damn it, the cut in my mouth opened again, it hurts, and now there is the taste of blood in my mouth. But stuff like this happened all the time in the slums. I wonder if they are getting enough to eat." Illegia spoke, "Your Highness, welcome back. How was the dinner?" The prince replied, "Thanks." Elysia thought, "What is happening?" She asked, "Your Highness." The prince replied, "Sorry." Elysia said, "Did something happen?" The prince shouted, "I want tea." Elysia thought, "Okay, but just tea." After that, she thought, apparently that was his way of asking to have some tea, but he is clearly acting strange. It is only natural for him to be tired after dinner, but there is something more going on here. So he was doing that again. The prince asked, "Is it done yet?" Elysia replied, "Waiting is part of tea time. What happened?" The prince told her, "Nothing." Elysia thought, "He won't tell me." The prince continued, "I'm remembering the kids from the slums, that's all. Smells different from usual." Elysia replied, "The tea, that's sharp of you. I'm using different tea leaves." The prince said, "It's kind of relaxing." Elysia explained, "I prepared some Eastern-style tea leaves, thinking it might be a good change of pace. This kind is said to be very relaxing. Forgive me, I'm sure you are not interested." The prince told her, "No, actually I like tea." Then both of them remained silent. The prince commented, "Talk about something. Go ahead, tell me the rest." He thought, "The cut inside my mouth hurts." After some time, Elysia thought, "Good work today, Your Highness. I would love to meet those precious friends of yours someday. Good night." The prince, in his dream, heard children telling him, "Hurry up and eat." One of them said, "It's yummy, big brother." The other one also told him, "Let's eat together tomorrow and the day after too." Giles replied, "Yes, I will always protect you." The next morning, the prince woke up and thought, "Guess I fell asleep." The next moment, the king was there. He said, "Good morning." The prince closed the curtains. The king came in through the window. The prince asked, "What do you want?" The king replied, "It is about last night's dinner." The prince said, "What about it? I went, didn't I?" The king continued, "I noticed that during dinner you began acting a bit strangely, and I was wondering if something was in your food." The prince commented, "So annoying." The king told him, "Yes, that's right, wait, annoying." The prince continued, "It's not a big deal." The king stated, "Of course it is. A sharp object in one's food is a huge deal." The prince shouted, "If you know what happened, why come here and ask about it? That kind of stuff happens all the time." The king spoke, "Oscar felt ill after dinner again. All I heard was that he got too cold due to the night breeze. Am I really that unreliable?" The prince replied, "I don't rely on you at all. We're done now." The king asked, "What, do you have a hot date or something?" The prince replied, "That's a good idea." On the other hand, Elysia thought, that was a refreshing morning. Suddenly, the prince came. Elysia asked, "Your Highness, what happened?" The prince told her, "Hurry up and change." After that, Elysia asked, "How is this?" The prince replied, "No good." Elysia thought, "Is that so? He showed up out of the blue, and I have no idea what he is thinking." The prince commented, "Your hair is too pretty. If you don't cover it up, you will be targeted by thieves. By the way, did you shrink?" Elysia replied, "You told me to wear sensible shoes, so I took off my heels." The prince was so happy. Elysia started smiling. The prince asked, "What is it?" Elysia replied, "Forgive me, you just looked so happy." The prince said, "Whatever, let's hurry up and go." Elysia asked, "Where are we going?" The prince replied, "You said you wanted to meet my friends." Elysia asked, "So you were awake?" The prince spoke, "Kind of." Elysia continued, "But I have never really been to that part of town before." She thought, "I hate to admit it, but I am scared." The prince stated, "Well then, I will be the teacher today." Next scene. Elysia told him, "I have made mistakes for a lifetime here." The prince commented, "You are clumsier than I thought." Elysia replied, "I am sorry." She thought, "Those people walk around confidently without clothes or hats. I don't know the proper behavior here." The prince told her, "We are almost there." The shop owner asked, "Giles, is that you? Don't be ridiculous. You are the only one who would eat my pies, so you are alive after all." The prince told him, "Just hurry up and hand it over." The shop owner continued, "Unusual for you to bring a girl with you. Here you go, miss." Elysia replied, "Thank you." She thought, "With my bare hands, how am I supposed to eat this? Is that how I am going to eat this?" The prince started laughing. Elysia tried to say, "Your Highness." The prince told her, "It's Giles, now just watch, this is the right procedure." Elysia thought, he already ate the whole thing. The prince told him, "Tastes like grass." The shop owner asked, can't you give me a better compliment? Illegia also started eating. She said, this is delicious. I have never tasted so many different herbs before, and they are spreading throughout my mouth all at once. It is delicious. Both of them were shocked. The shop owner started laughing. He replied, I see, that one is on the house. Illegia asked, are you sure? The shop owner told her, my wife told me I should not even charge money for it. Illegia replied, thank you. The prince commented, she is telling you to stop making them. Then, by the way, do you know where Emilio is? The shop owner told him, he's been busy lately, running all over the place. Suddenly, someone got hit. Illegia shouted, what is going on? Are you all right? But no one was there. Someone shouted, that is enough. Retreat, the prince thought, that voice. The person who got hit was also running away. The shop owner asked, where did that girl go? The prince thought, that bastard. The person was carrying Illegia and running away while she was just eating. That person said, nice to meet you. Are you by any chance Giles's first love? After that, Emilio told her, here we are. Illegia thought, did I just get kidnapped? Emilio asked, you got that from the guy who sells pies. I can't believe you can eat something like that. The prince came and shouted, Emilio, you really did it this time. Emilio replied, what took you so long? Sure you're not getting too soft. The prince shouted, shut up, can't you think of a better way to welcome me? Emilio replied, is that all you have to say to me after being gone for a whole year? Here I come. The prince thought, you idiot. Illegia asked, your highness, are you all right? Emilio commented, were you always this weak? The prince told him, shut up, how's that, you idiot? Illegia thought, are they fighting? I have to stop them. Emilio was laughing. The prince was also laughing. Emilio asked, you didn't even come by once. The prince replied, it's complicated. Emilio continued, so why would you decide to come back now? The prince spoke, no reason, just felt like it. Emilio asked, it's that girl, isn't it? Look, she's surrounded. The prince told him, I've got nothing to do with her. Emilio asked, you sure she's okay? The prince came and asked, what's up? A little girl replied, guess what, I was just showing this to her. The prince asked, wow, did you catch it all by yourself? The little girl replied, this one is nice, it doesn't bite at all. Emilio thought, that's probably too intense for a noble. She's thinking like, filthy, disgusting pests, if she doesn't go into a fit of hysterics in front of the kids. Illegia spoke, how cute, but sometimes mice can have very scary diseases, so you should really let it go. The little girl asked, what is, diseases? Emilio told her, let it go together. The prince asked, why? The kids suddenly came to him and said, if Giles is going, I am going too. The prince replied, fine, now let's go. You stay right there and don't move. Emilio asked, you are a weird girl. Illegia replied, what? Did I do something strange? I am terribly sorry. I had no idea how anxious it feels, not knowing the proper way to behave in an unfamiliar place. If I have acted strangely, please tell me so I can do better next time. Emilio spoke, no, I just meant, for a noble, you are a pretty good person. What do you like about him? Anyway, Illegia asked, what do you mean? Emilio told her, aren't you his girl? Illegia asked, his girl, what does that mean? Emilio whispered something. Illegia started blushing. After some time, Emilio asked, so you are his tutor? Illegia replied, yes, that is right. She thought, I was so flustered, I am so embarrassed. Emilio again asked, so you are not Giles's first love? Illegia replied, no, it is someone else. Emilio commented, well, if it had been you, I could have rooted for you guys even though you are a noble. Illegia asked, do you dislike nobles? Emilio explained, of course I do. Same for Giles. I don't know if we caused trouble because we did not have food to eat first. Or if you all discriminated against us first, but the dismantling of the slums created an even bigger divide between us. Illegia asked, what do you mean, the removal of the slums? The prince asked, wait, he has not said anything about it. Illegia replied, no. Emilio told her, 1 year ago, they came and destroyed this place, but the holy knights found Giles while they were here, and they were shocked at how closely he resembled the king. He made himself their hostage, and agreed to go back to the castle with them under the condition that they would leave the slums alone. And today was the first time he showed his face since that day. I don't have the power to help him anymore, so I am really glad he has someone like you by his side. Illesia asked, he is inspiring, isn't he? Emilio said, what do you mean? Illesia commented, I am embarrassed to admit it, but this is the first time I have seen His Highness like this. At the castle, he is always on guard. I have always admired his strength, and now I realize he had to be strong for you all. You have done plenty to help him. Emilio told her, you don't have to say that. I did not say it because I wanted you to comfort me, but thanks anyway. What is your name? Illesia replied, my name is Illesia. Emilio told her, your name is close to mine. Take care of him, okay? Illesia replied, I will. She thought, my hands are dirty. Emilio said, no problem. Why are you still holding this? Just eat it already. Illesia spoke, I am sorry. After some time, a little kid started crying. No, where are you going? Emilio said, you guys have me, remember? The little kid replied, yes, but you are kind of scary. The next moment, Emilio picked them up and said, Giles needs to go work right now. He will come back home again, but you just gotta wait until then, right? The prince replied, yes. After that, Illesia spoke, Your Highness. The prince told her, don't call me that here. Illesia continued, I may not be very powerful, but I will do my best to help you. The prince asked, where did that come from, all of a sudden? He thought, that idiot Emilio, he must have filled her head with nonsense. He said, of course you will help me. The next morning, Illesia asked, I am sorry, but what did you just say? The Prime Minister replied, while you two were out having a leisurely time, the chef was fired, and Prince Oscar collapsed. Illesia asked, no, after that. The Prime Minister continued, His Majesty has decided that we will have Prince Giles's social debut, which has been postponed, right away. Illesia commented, it is too soon for the prince to have an official engagement yet. The Prime Minister emphasized, I know that, but I was powerless to convince His Majesty otherwise. Anyway, your job is to quickly prepare the prince. He needs cram sessions on social etiquette, manners, dance, and profiles of his guests. There might be state guests invited as well, so he needs to brush up on our kingdom's history as well as that of our neighbors. Illesia asked, what is this? Prime Minister reply, a party invitation for Prince Oscar. The hostess is Lady Maryanne of the Durand family. Prince Oscar needs to rest quietly for a while, so we have decided that in order to practice for his social debut, Prince Giles will attend in his place. Illesia thought, Maryanne Durand, Prince's crush, she said, all right, I will do my best. After that, Illesia explained, it is going to be a cocktail party. Unlike banquets, the manners and etiquette required are not as difficult. And I will be able to attend with you in order to give you support, so all that leaves us is dancing, so let's get right down to it and start practicing. The prince replied, no, Illesia continued, but it is Lady Maryanne's birthday party. This is your big chance to get closer to her. The prince replied, don't need it, there is no way I am doing something embarrassing like that. Illesia again told him, it is Maryanne. The prince replied, even if I did go, I would just ignore the dancing part. Illesia explained, you know, I have been thinking ever since you took me to the slums. Prince Oscar, the heir to the throne, is a bigot, and I would not be surprised if he ordered the slums razed to the ground the moment he gets crowned. The prince thought, wow, Emilio told her all that. Illesia continued, so in order to protect the slums, you need to make as many allies as you can in high society. And knowing how to dance will give you a very important chance to do this. Please, push your personal feelings aside and try it. The prince commented, fine, Illesia said, thank you so much. The prince continued, when I am with you, I feel like I keep losing my confidence. Illesia asked, what does that mean? The prince replied, nothing. Illesia told him, now, shall we begin our lesson? Have you ever heard a waltz, Your Highness? The prince replied, I do know, but isn't dancing something you do with someone else? Illesia said, yes, that is right. The prince asked, then what am I supposed to do? Illesia explained, well, I will dance with you. The prince asked, can you duplicate yourself? Illesia thought, I need one more of myself. She replied, I am sorry, I was in such a hurry I did not think things through. The prince told her, you are surprisingly ditzy sometimes, you know that. Illesia spoke, I will go get someone else to help. The prince stated, no, it is fine, you can sing it, but you gotta take off your shoes first. After that, Illegia told him, yes, right, left, now pull me towards you. That's right, you have gotten the hang of it. The prince replied, well yes, only because you have been forcing me through the motions for hours. Then they started dancing. Illegia asked, what is it? The prince replied, you just look happy. That reminds me, a long time ago, my younger sister used to beg me to dance with her, just like this. I called her my sister, but we were not related by blood. She belonged to a family who took me in, and we just held hands and twirled around on moonlit nights. She told me she was going to be a princess when she grew up. Illegia spoke, a girl you met in the slums said that. The prince replied, yes, she got run over by a noble's carriage and died. That kind of thing happens often. Illegia told him, I don't know what to say. The prince explained, honestly, it happens all the time. My real mom died in an accident downtown too, but I don't think all nobles are trash. Don't worry, at the very least, I know you are different, and I trust you. If my teacher is this innocent, who is going to teach me how to seduce women? Illegia commented, Your Highness, you should not tease ladies like that. The prince asked, did you know you get wrinkles when you are mad? What happened to the song? Illegia started singing. On the other hand, the duke stated, why isn't this enough to satisfy you? Adele replied, I am sorry. The duke continued, you are going to stay here and think about what you did wrong for a while. Adele thought, why did this happen? Don't worry, I will be fine. All I have to do is go to the party, and I will become the main attraction again. Next scene, at the party nobles are chatting. It is a shame Prince Oscar is not feeling well enough to attend tonight, one said. Yes, especially since it's Lady Maryanne's birthday party. Maryanne tell them Crown Prince needs to regain his strength. He is going to be responsible for the whole kingdom someday. There was an announcement. His Highness Prince Giles, second Prince of España, nobles whispered. Wait, isn't he the one who had an outburst at the last party? I can't believe he actually showed up. Now our party is ruined, someone muttered. The prince bowed. A big thank you for your kind invitation. I am here attending in place of the Crown Prince. I am honored to celebrate your birthday. Maryanne replied, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for coming, Prince. And who is this? Illegia introduced herself. Maryanne asked, aren't you Illegia Lauren? I was just thinking how I have not seen you lately. Illegia replied, I am currently working as Prince Giles's private tutor. I am glad to see you again. A maid came and told Maryanne, Lady, it is time. Maryanne said, I am sorry, if you will excuse me. The prince said, of course, pardon me for keeping you when you were so busy. Illegia told him, you were perfect, Your Highness. The prince replied, yes. Illegia continued, not yet. The prince told her, you and Emilio are amazing. How the heck do you keep a smile on your face for so long? Illegia thought. At first I was worried during practice about smiling. Fortunately he had a good role model. She replied, you are very good at imitating people, Your Highness. The prince explained, yes, it is always my go-to joke. The kids always laughed at my impression. Maryanne spoke, may I have your attention? Everyone, thank you so much for coming to my party. Illegia thought, wow, the prince was blushing. Then the music started. Illegia told him, it is almost time to dance. This is where the real fight begins. Maryanne is the most popular lady here tonight. You need to position yourself so that you can ask her to dance first, so try to casually stay as close to her as possible. Adele came and stated, I was wondering if that was you, but I thought no, surely she would not dare show her face here. You'd better not go around telling people you are representing the Laurens. Illegia replied, of course not, I am just Illegia now. Adele introduced herself, then said, since this is such a special occasion, I would love to dance with you, Your Highness. The prince replied, if that is what you want. Adele commented, yes, of course, would you hold this? Let's go, Your Highness. Illegia asked, Prince, shouldn't you dance with Maryanne first? The prince replied, if I dance with her first, I will just end up stepping on her foot or something, but I can stomp on Adele's feet a bunch if you want. Illegia told him, you can't do that. Illegia thought, His Highness is making so much progress. Someday, when he is a full-fledged prince, I will have to. Suddenly Adele screamed, the prince has assaulted me. Adele thought, ever since I could remember, Illegia was in my life. She was just some plain girl who managed to be born a few years earlier than me. But I won't live in her shadow for the rest of my life. She finally disappeared from my sight, but now I hear she is the second prince's tutor. Give me a break. The prince asked, What are you? Nobles started chatting. How frightening. See, a savage brute like him won't change so easily. He tore off her necklace. Illegia thought, His Highness would never do such a thing. Maryanne told her, You must not. I understand how you feel, but I don't want to get you involved. Tarnishing your reputation to protect him just isn't something you should do. Illegia replied, I am sorry, but things are different now. This is definitely what I should do. She thought, there must be some mistake. Adele shouted, Please stop, what did I ever do to you? Illegia told him, Please wait, Your Highness. The prince asked, What happened to you there? There was a cut. Adele shouted, You must have scratched me. The prince replied, You are the one who fell down first. I had one arm around your waist and held your hand with the other. How could I have cut you? Adele asked, But are you trying to say I did it myself? Just look at my necklace. Why would I rip off my own necklace? The prince spoke, I haven't seen one of those in a while. Here, look at this. Illegia asked, What is this? The prince told them, A weapon you see sometimes in the slums. There is a tiny knife hidden in it. Illegia asked, Where did you get this? Adele replied, That is not true. Why would anyone believe the story of some brute from the slums? What is wrong with you people? I am the daughter of a duke. Shouldn't you be stepping up to save me? No way. Nobles replied, No way. It is more trouble to get involved. Illegia thought, The moment I realized the cruel world I had been born into, I began to hate it. She said, Adele, I think you might be tired. Why don't I take you to another room where you can rest, and we can discuss this? Adele shouted, You fraud. You are nothing but a fraud. Don't you dare pity me. This is all your fault. I went to all that trouble, wishing you into the fireplace and scaring you, but you still keep popping into my life. Everything would have gone smoothly if it wasn't for you. I could have been gone. Maryanne came and asked, What is all this commotion at my birthday party? Adele shouted, Lady, I was just. The next moment she was shocked. Maryanne looked at him, then she spoke. It seems Adele was nervous to dance with His Highness. I would be grateful if Your Highness would forget this matter, for my sake. The prince looked at Illegia. Then he replied, Of course. Maryanne spoke. Thank you, everyone. I am terribly sorry for the commotion. Please excuse me for a moment and enjoy the party. Adele, I will take you to a room where you may calm down. The prince said, You look pale. Illegia replied, No, I am fine. He asked, Want to go home? Because I am going home. Illegia told him, But you can't, you still have not greeted everyone yet. The prince commented, Who cares? I am tired. I would rather be dragged around some dusty room with you instead of here. Anyway, I will let you choose. Illegia asked, Choose what? The prince asked, Do you want to walk, or should I carry you over my shoulder? Illegia replied, Absolutely not. The prince stated, Fine then, let's go home. Illegia replied, Okay. On the other hand, Adele shouted, Lady, I am so sorry that it did not work, but you will help me, won't you? I mean, you are the first one who really accepted me. You told me I would make a better queen than ever. That is what you said. Next time. What should I do next time? Maryanne stated, There won't be a next time, you stupid, idiotic loser. Then she slapped her. She continued, Honestly, I spent all that time setting things up for you. I even tried to stop Illegia today. I suppose it can't be helped. The only thing you have is your family name, you good-for-nothing brat. But aren't you lucky? You got to have such a nice dream, even if it was just for a little while. Adele shouted, No, lady would never say such a thing. Maryanne stated, Don't be ridiculous. You are just a leech. Don't talk to me like you know me. From the very beginning, I did not care whether it was you or Illegia who fell from grace. Adele said, You are a liar. Suddenly a servant came. Maryanne spoke. I was just trying to talk to Adele, but then she attacked me. Adele continued shouting, Liar. After that Maryanne thought, the Lawrence girls were the two candidates to become queen. Now they are a scarred woman and a disgraced dimwit. What utter fools. I am the only one worthy to become queen. Next morning the prince came and asked, You don't tell me what I would be doing today. What is happening? A mountain of books. Illegia replied, Good morning, Your Highness. I figured you were probably tired from yesterday's party, so I thought you should take the day off. After some time the prince thought, What scar was Adele talking about? I wonder if it is that. I have no idea. I guess having a scar is a huge deal for nobles. The Prime Minister was also there, telling the aide, I heard what happened last night. I want you to send a letter to the Lawrence family in the name of the king. Then he looked at the prince. The Prime Minister asked, "What happened to today's classes?" The prince replied, "She said I could take the day off because I was probably tired." The Prime Minister said, "You are lucky to have such a kind teacher. You did a wonderful job last night. Very well done. Not having an outburst. Is something the matter?" The prince spoke, "She has been weird ever since last night. I don't really understand much about nobles, so I don't know what I can do to help her." The Prime Minister told him, "Teachers always think about their students. She will be thrilled no matter what you do. But why don't you take this opportunity to get her a present? Women especially love bouquets. When I was young, the ladies were fond of bouquets so big they could barely hold them." Next scene, the prince thought, "Where is it?" The head maid spoke, "Prince, this is no place for you. If you need something, please let me know and I will bring it to you right away." The prince replied, "I wanted to make some tea." The head maid asked, "For whom?" The prince replied, "Her." The head maid again asked, "Pardon me, but what is her name?" The prince commented, "Illegitimate." The head maid asked, "Why would your highness make tea for his tutor?" The prince told her, "Because she is feeling down." The head maid said, "In other words, Miss Illegitimate is not feeling well, so you would like to make her some tea in an effort to cheer her up." The prince shouted, "You got a problem with that?" The head maid replied, "Forgive me, your highness. You too there, it is all ready." After some time Illegitimate thought, "This is tiring, but if I don't keep myself busy, I am afraid I will think about things I should not." The prince came and told her, "Sit down. I don't know why, but I thought you would like this one the best." Illegitimate asked, "The trouble of choosing the tea for me, your highness. I can't wait to drink it." She thought, "It has a delicate floral aroma. He did all this for me." The prince asked, "Did I mess something up?" Illegitimate replied, "What, not at all. I am just so happy." The prince stated, "When I get more power, and I can protect the slums on my own, then you never have to hide anything about yourself ever again. Got it?" Illegitimate replied, "Thank you." 3 months later, Prince Giles' official debut ceremony. Illegitimate spoke, "I will be right here waiting for you." The prince replied, "I will be right back." Then the announcement started, España's second prince, His Highness, Prince Giles Alexis. The king came and said, "Thank you so much for being here in España. Today we are celebrating the 18th birthday of my son Giles. I hope you all enjoy yourselves." After that, a yellow said, "Why would I have to come all the way to another kingdom for some orphan? And they call this a reception. They must have confused it with an exhibition." Illegitimate whispered something. The prince said, "Forgive me for the late introduction, Marquis Yellow. I have heard much about you." The Marquis replied, "I doubt my reputation has fallen to the point that commoners are talking about me. It seems as though you have some rudimentary manners, though." The prince spoke, "Thank you for the..." The Marquis interrupted, "So I suppose it is not unusual that you have heard of me." The prince replied, "Yes, The Marquis again interrupted, "After all, when I was young I did a lot of business in these parts. You know the Yellow domain was the first one to trade goods with España." The prince thought, "So annoying. Illegitimate is probably the only person in the whole world who even knows your name." He asked, "Are you enjoying the food? I heard you were quite the foodie, so we made sure to tell the chef to whip up something special." The Marquis spoke, "Well, what can I say?" The prince continued, "The black label pig you sent over from a yellow is especially delicious. I am sure they are fed only the highest quality food." The Marquis told him, "Of course, because I am involved." The prince stated, "We thought we would roast the things on a spit." The Marquis replied, "No, dear, high quality fat is ideal for dry cured ham. This is what commoners don't understand." The prince stated, "Would you like a slice? I am quite good with a knife, you know." Illegitimate thought, "These past 3 months, His Highness has really grown so much. He was so much calmer lately, but that makes me a little sad too." The king came and asked, "What is the matter? I can't believe the hardest worker here is being a wallflower." Illegitimate replied, "I am not the hardest worker." The king told her, "You are, and that is a fact. Before, Giles would have blown his top in a few seconds and escaped." The prince thought, "What is he doing next to her?" Illegitimate continued, "Well, he did not mean to be like that." The king started getting closer just to tease the prince. The prince thought, "Get away from her." The king said, "So delightful, I am grateful to you." Illegitimate replied, "I don't deserve such praise." The king asked, "By the way, what was your name again?" Illegitimate replied, "It is Illegitimate." The king asked, So why aren't you over there talking with the other young women? Illegia replied, because I am just here as a tutor today. I am not here as an invited guest. The king commented, I heard you practically broke down the castle gates to come here, but now you are being shy. When you take modesty too far, it becomes rudeness. Enjoy yourself. Illegia thought, thank you. Next moment, Valentina came and spoke. I knew it was you. I have been searching for you. Illegia thought Valentina was the eldest daughter of Duke Vargas. She had been studying abroad in another country for the past few years. Illegia asked, when did you get back? Valentina replied, just the other day. I thought I would be able to see you here. Sorry I grabbed you all of a sudden. I've heard rumors about you and have been dying to talk to you. When I last saw you, you were so proper and beautiful. You always played the perfect lady, just as was expected of you. I couldn't relate. I thought you had some kind of strength I didn't possess, but then I heard you cast aside your perfect life and became the tutor of the much maligned second prince. I wonder what happened that changed you. I'm very curious to hear all about it. Will you tell me? Illegia told her the whole story. Valentina spoke. So you were burned? Illegia asked. Are you disappointed? Valentina replied. Why would I be? Illegia said, it was not my choice to withdraw from high society. Valentina continued. I would never be disappointed. The most important thing is how you behaved afterward. Illegia commented, thank you. She thought, back then, I thought all people saw me as was the perfect lady. I didn't think anyone knew who I truly was. Valentina told her, you look like a different person now when you smile. Although you were very attractive back then too, I like you more now. Meanwhile, the prince thought, there's Illegia. Who am I supposed to greet next? There she is. And who is that? Illegia spoke. Prince, this is Valentina, the daughter of Duke Vargas. Valentina introduced herself. The prince thought, the déjà vu is incredible. Valentina continued, I have so much to talk to you about, Your Highness. It's time for the ball. The prince stated, no, you are here as my tutor, so you are not allowed to dance. Illegia replied, I think it's fine for me to dance. The prince shouted, what about me then? Shouldn't you be dancing with me first? Illegia replied, this is the first I've heard of it. The prince told her, I just told you now. Illegia thought, what should I do? Valentina spoke, I see, the rumors were correct. You're still a boy, aren't you? You don't know the proper way to escort a lady. Watch and learn. The prince asked, are you picking a fight with me? Illegia told them, I know. This is such a wonderful chance to become friends. The prince asked, didn't you hear what I said? The noble ladies started chatting. Lady Valentina is going to dance. With who? Isn't that the second prince over there with her? Valentina told him, there's no backing out now, please go easy on me. Then they started dancing. The prince thought, it pisses me off to say this, but she really is good. But why this expression? The prince thought, I didn't want to do this either. Valentina spoke, I'm surprised. You dance like the perfect student. The prince replied, sorry I wasn't more entertaining. Now watch this. Valentina thought, I see. The next moment, she said, I'm looking forward to it. After the dance, Illegia told them, you two were just lovely. The prince replied, that sounds like nothing but an insult right now. Valentina also said, I'm sorry, that was immature of me. The prince told her, you've got a terrible personality. Valentina continued, looks like you've got a puppy guard dog, so I'll give up for today, but we'll have to dance with each other next time. Illegia replied, of course. The prince thought, get away from her. Valentina started laughing, then she said, well then, I have to go. The prince asked, what is with you? Illegia replied, nothing, just thinking how well you two get along. The prince spoke, shut up. Then he thought, what am I supposed to say again? Then he said, let's go. The prince thought, no, if I say it like that, it will just feel like we're in class, so if this isn't class, then what is it? Illegia asked, Your Highness, are you nervous? You've been perfect all night so far. There's no need to worry. The prince asked, have I? Illegia continued, yes, just like always. Suddenly, the wind came from the window, and all the candles turned off. The nobles started chatting, it's a bad omen. How could this have happened during the prince's ceremony? The prince thought, it's not going to fall. Then both of them looked at each other, and they started laughing. Illegia asked, why is it always one incident after another? The prince replied, because you just said that I was perfect, but now, we can really dance like we always do. Illegia told him, don't you think that's a bit imprudent? The prince replied, "No one is watching." The king asked, "What are you doing?" The servant replied, "Forgive me, we're working on relighting the candles right now." The king spoke, "No, forget about it, play the music." Illegia and the prince were dancing in the moonlight. The nobles were whispering, "Wow, beautiful, isn't that Illegia? Did she always look so happy?" Valentina thought, "You already showed everyone." Then she heard a servant say, "I'm so sorry, the window was unlocked." Valentina thought, "Isn't it a bit too convenient that a gust of wind blew and extinguished all the candles? Things look quite grim." At the same time, one person asked, "Well, the kingdom certainly gave a smart show, didn't they, with the second prince, and that must be some kind of noble's daughter." The duke came and told them, "Yes, that is my daughter." Next scene, Maryanne thought, "I can't believe this, only gross old men approached me, and that woman from my past showed up out of nowhere. I can't believe it, I know, I forgot about that very interesting toy." On the other hand, the prince said, "You're too late, now sit here." Illegia replied, "About the documents I gave you." The prince told her, "I'm done with them." Illegia asked, "You finished all of these?" The prince continued, "Stop making such a big deal out of everything." Illegia commented, "I'll go ahead and check them." The prince thought, "I can do this." Illegia asked, "What's going on?" The prince replied, "I didn't do anything." Then he started doing that again. Illegia asked, "What are you doing?" The prince told her, "You've sure got a fancy hairdo today." All right, all right." After some time, Illegia spoke, "Wow, that's so great." The prince told her, "I'm not really good at these, but the kids always like them. Why are you looking at me?" Illegia replied, "It's nothing. I was just thinking that brings back memories." The prince spoke, "And how about this?" Illegia replied, "My mother made me a flower crown like this once. She died when I was 6, so I don't have many memories of her, but I just remembered, thanks to this. Thank you so much, I'll cherish it forever." The prince started patting her head, and he said, "Try to remember more things about her." Illegia thought, "Okay, let's see." After that, the prince asked, "By the way, what about your dad?" A servant came and said, "I have a letter for you, Your Highness. It's from Lady Maryanne Durand to Your Highness." Illegia commented, "Goodness, Your Highness, since when did you two get so close?" The prince replied, "Don't ask me. You were there with me the whole time. It's an invitation to have tea over at her house, just the two of us." Illegia spoke, "Oh my God." The prince continued, "Shut up already, she just wants to apologize, you know, about the whole commotion at her party." The servant told her, "And I have a letter for you as well, miss, from Duke Lauren." Illegia replied, "Thank you." The prince asked, "What's the matter?" Illegia replied, "Nothing, it's nothing at all." The prince asked again, "What's the matter?" Illegia said, "It's really nothing, I'm fine." The prince remembered back in time. There was a noble lady who said, "There's nothing but filthy commoners in these parts. I wish they would just exterminate these pests already. What is going on? That child is stealing." The next moment, the guard picked him up. After that, the prince thought, "What's wrong with doing bad things to nasty nobles anyway?" That's how I truly felt, until that day, when that person came. After some time, the bar owner said, "They really got you good this time. Anyway, I don't got anything for you today." The prince asked, "What does this say?" That person replied, "Pretty fancy piece of cloth. This belongs to a noblewoman. Let's see, what daughter of a noble starts with M? The neighboring domain. What's his daughter's name? Maryanne." Now back in the present time, Illegia came with the handkerchief, and she said, "The tailor made you a very lovely handkerchief. Bringing a gift like this, you're so sly, Your Highness." The prince replied, "I told you, it's not like that, here." Illegia thought, he can do it himself. The prince asked, "Did you not sleep well last night?" Illegia replied, "No, I slept fine. The carriage is ready for you. I hope you have a wonderful time." The prince told her, "I'll be back, take it easy." Next scene, Maryanne spoke, "I'm so happy to enjoy tea with you on such a lovely day, Your Highness." The prince replied, "Thank you for the invitation." Maryanne thought, "I thought he was nothing more than a wild dog from the slums, but I was wrong. Well, indulging in a bad boy every now and then won't hurt. He's nervous, how adorable." She said, "I saw you dancing at the party, and it was quite lovely." The prince thought, "Which dance?" Maryanne continued, "The moon was like a spotlight on you too. Everyone's eyes were glued on you, but I only wish I could have been your partner instead." She thought, perhaps if I train the mutt, I can use him to my advantage. The prince replied, I can't. If it was anyone else but her, I would have stepped on their feet in the darkness. Maryanne stated, I see. You two seem very close, but, Your Highness, you must choose your partner very carefully. The Lorens are a ducal family, but they have clearly fallen from grace. Not only that, but Illegitimate was disowned. She's not even considered a noble animal. However, I would be able to help you, Your Highness, don't you think so? The prince said, May I ask something? Do you remember ever giving a boy from the slums your handkerchief? Maryanne replied, I'm not sure I understand what you mean. First of all, I was raised to never make contact with despicable commoners. The prince told her, I see, thank you for the tea, if you'll excuse me. Maryanne told him, please wait, Your Highness. The prince stated, I am one of those despicable people, so perhaps you should choose your partner more wisely. Maryanne thought, what? On the other hand, the Duke spoke, how I have missed you. The Duke continued, you have done well, but if you have gained employment at the palace, you need to have your sights set on first place. There is no future with the second prince unless someone backs him. I raised you well enough for you to know Illegitimate thought. Ever since I was little, all this man does is talk about himself. The Duke continued, I will go to the palace myself and, Illegitimate stated, Father, I am not a member of the Lorens family anymore, so I won't obey your orders. The Duke asked, what do you mean? Illegitimate thought, he won't listen to me. Then she said, like I said before. The Duke again cut her sentence short and told her, I am the one who made you. I had my pick of women, but I chose your mother. We gave you life. I gave you all the best education. All of that was so the Lorens would become pivotal in this kingdom's politics. Otherwise, you are worth nothing. I will be back. After that, he said, eavesdropping is a nasty habit. Valentina replied, I would not dream of such a thing. The Duke continued, I taught my daughter to choose her companions wisely. After some time, Valentina spoke, looks like the Duke has not changed a bit. I'm sorry, I should have stepped in to help. You're working too hard by yourself. She thought, I can tell you don't want to talk about it right now. Then she said, do you remember the promise you made to me, that you would dance with me next? This is not a party, and there is no music, but would you do me the honor? On the other hand, the prince thought about Maryanne's words. He said, I can't believe it. After that, the prince told her, I'm back. Illegitimate asked, why are you back already? What about the tea? The prince replied, I was done there, so I came home, but what happened to you? Illegitimate thought, why am I crying? The prince told her, don't cry. Illegitimate replied, I'm sorry, Your Highness, but this handkerchief. Valentina came and told them, sorry I took so long, it took me a while to get the horse ready. Looks like I interrupted. Both of them asked, interrupted. Valentina thought, so clueless. The prince was looking at the horse with excitement. Valentina asked, Your Highness, would you like to ride? The prince replied, are you stupid? I can't ride that thing. Valentina continued, it's not hard. I know riding for the first time can make you feel nervous. The prince told her, I'm not gonna ride it, and that's that. Then the prince said, I will ride it. After that, Valentina told her, he looks surprisingly good up there. The prince thought, it's too high. Then, after the horse riding, the prince spoke, I'm exhausted. Illegitimate replied, I am too, a bit, but I haven't had that much fun in a long time. The prince continued, she is amazing. Illegitimate told him, she is. Valentina went to study horsemanship abroad. In the near future, he's going to be officially in charge of the horses at the palace. Where did he go? The prince was looking at the white horse. Valentina told him, no, Your Highness, that horse is. The next moment, she thought, oh no, the prince shouted, what the hell is this? Valentina spoke, I'm sorry, Alejandra is recognized as the best horse in the kingdom. I'm the only one she likes. The prince said, the horse is eating you. Valentina shouted, you stop that. After that, both of them were soaked. Illegitimate started laughing. Valentina told him, at any rate, I think Your Highness and I should go wash off our faces. Scene change. The prince spoke, I can't believe that happened. Valentina commented, now, it all worked out in the end. The prince asked, she's laughing at me again. I wonder what happened with her. Valentina replied, I don't know, you'd have to ask her that. I should be going home now, so I'll leave the rest to you, faithful guard dog. The prince thought, who are you calling guard dog? After that, Illegitimate asked, Your Highness, your room is in the opposite direction. Well then, if you'll excuse me. Later that night, Illegia thought, "What is going on?" Then she asked, "Your Highness, shouldn't you be going back to your room now?" The prince replied, "I'm not leaving until you fall asleep." Valentina started smiling. The prince asked, "What?" Illegia commented, "You're worried about me, aren't you? Both you and Valentina. That's so sweet of you, thank you." The prince spoke, "Once upon a time." Then he asked, "What, didn't you ever listen to stories before bed?" Illegia replied, "I don't know, but you seem like you're good at it." The prince told her, "I'm just making it up as I go along." "Stop talking. Go to sleep. You take on way too much by yourself," Illegia said. "I know." Then the prince started telling her bedtime stories. On the other hand, noblemen were chatting. "What is His Majesty thinking?" one said. The other replied, "Stop, we're in the palace, but consider Prince Oscar's situation. We must think about succession as soon as possible. What does His Majesty expect of someone whose bloodline and upbringing are both filthy? I can't help but doubt his ability as monarch." The Duke came and said, "I didn't think I would see you here." The other person asked, "Is there something you need?" The Duke continued, "No, I just noticed you seemed agitated, and I was thinking, perhaps you would like to come to my mansion for tea." After that, the Duke said, "You are entirely correct, you should just trust your instincts. How about you join forces with me, when these noblemen are gone?" The Duke thought, "And do my bidding." Suddenly, Adele, who was in a maid uniform, dropped a basket from her hand. She said, "Father, I'm sorry." The Duke did not look at her. The next day, the prince shouted, "Your father is a total jerk. He totally took advantage of you. Then just threw you out when his plans didn't work. Who does he think he is, anyway?" Illegia replied, "On one hand, maybe I just took the easiest way. I thought if I just did as father said, everything would go smoothly, so I gave up thinking for myself and just blindly followed him." The prince shouted, "You idiot. It's that jerk's fault, not yours. Repeat after me." Illegia also said, "It's that jerk's fault." The prince continued, "Sometimes, no matter what you do or say, it doesn't get through people's heads. If they fight you, you gotta fight back." Illegia started laughing. The prince told her, "I'm being serious here." Illegia replied, "I'm sorry." She thought, "My father used to be such a large, terrifying presence in my life, but after hearing His Highness's opinion, my father now seems small." She said, "Like this." The prince replied, "Too weak, like this. Why are you staring?" Illegia spoke, "Nothing. I was just thinking how strong you are." The prince told her, "I'm not anything special. Come on, put your back into it." Next scene, Illegia asked, "What is the matter?" The maids replied, "Actually, Duke Lauren is here to see Miss Illegia, and he's been coming every day for a while now." The prince asked, "For what?" Illegia told them, "He's probably trying to get the support of someone influential, because not even he can easily enter the palace, so he's using me as an excuse." The prince asked, "You're okay?" Illegia replied, "Yes." The prince shouted, "Let's kick him out of here, we'll ban him." Illegia started smiling and told him, "It will be difficult to get that man to leave. He'll keep coming unless the king orders him otherwise, but you're right. I have no intention of letting him get the best of me again." The next day, a knight said, "Duke, excuse me, but would you please state your business here?" The Duke replied, "Forgive me. I am just a doting father. My daughter is performing an important job here, and I am just worried about her. I am beside myself. I am so glad I ran into you. Do you know where my daughter is?" Illegia came and said, "What a coincidence, I've been looking for you too." After that, the Duke asked, "What is the meaning of this?" Illegia replied, "Please stop using me as an excuse to come to the palace. You are causing a disturbance." The Duke asked, "What, are you going through a rebellious phase? You are my daughter. You know that. Our family needs every chance they can get. This kingdom is full of useless idiots, so the capable ones must guide the way, and there is no one better for the job than me." Illegia told him, "I don't agree." The Duke continued, "Do what you need to do. I don't have time to waste here with you." Illegia stated, "Duke Lauren, do you know why you have never been called to serve in the government? It's because you don't have what it takes to be a leader." The Duke asked, "Just where are your priorities? Are you one of the useless ones after all? Then I won't expect anything from you, but in exchange, don't ever interfere with me again." On the other hand, the prince thought, "That idiot, I told her to wait for me." He asked, "Sorry, but have you seen Illegia and her jerk of a father?" The knight replied, "They just went into that room over there." The next moment, the prince opened the door and asked, "Are you okay?" Illegia stated. I know that nothing I say will ever get through to you, but, then she punched him. Illegia said, you are still going to want power and influence and stomp all over others just because of your stupid, selfish desires. And one day, you might hurt the people precious to me, who have done nothing but encourage me, and I will never let you do that. The Duke stated, how dare you raise your hand against your father, you ungrateful brat. The next moment, the prince saved her. Illegia asked, Your Highness, I am so sorry. The prince hugged her. The Duke continued, I have spent so much time making concessions for you incompetent fools. Just how much do you want to anger me before you are satisfied? You are a disgrace. The king came and stated, Carlos, what is the meaning of this? The king continued, I was startled when my son came to get me, but I certainly was not expecting that you had injured him. What do you have to say for yourself? The Duke replied, Then, Your Majesty, I certainly was not expecting to see you here. Well, it was only an accident. I was trying to discipline my terribly behaved daughter. I did not have any intention of hurting the second prince. The king stated, That is not what it looked like. The Duke replied, Please believe me, everything I do is in the best interest of Your Majesty and this kingdom. The king continued, Is that so? Because I have heard that you have been acting suspiciously inside the castle lately. Not only that, but you hurt my beloved son and his teacher. I will leave your punishment to the parliament. Now, the only question is, next time I see you, will your head still be attached to your body? The Duke shouted, I don't understand. How many tax dollars will you waste persecuting me? Idiots who don't value those who are better than them will soon regret it. You will see that I was right all along, then you'll come crawling to me for help. After the Duke was gone, the king said, I'll get someone to tend to those wounds. The prince stated, Why did you do something so reckless? For someone so smart, you sure don't understand when something's dangerous. Although, we're here together today because of your impulsive nature, I hate seeing you get hurt. Never do that again. Illegia replied, Okay, I'm sorry. The king thought, I'm definitely the third wheel. Next scene. The prince opened his eyes. A maid asked, Your Highness, are you awake? I'll go call the doctor. Please don't try to get up. The prince asked, Where is she? The maid explained, Your Highness, please lie back down. You've been asleep for a whole day. Miss Illegia stayed by your side the whole time until just a while ago. She's giving her statement about the incident right now. The prince said, That's good, and what's that? The maid told him, Miss Illegia must have forgotten it. The prince continued, I bet that blood won't come out. The next moment, he asked, Wait, whose handkerchief did you say this was? The maid replied, Miss Illegia's. The prince then screamed. The maid told him, Your Highness, please calm down. The prince was just looking at the handkerchief. After some time, Illegia came and said, Your Highness, how are you feeling? I was so scared that you wouldn't wake up. You got injured because I was reckless. This is all my fault. I am so sorry. I know an apology is not enough, and I know this is very impudent of me, but please let me atone. I will do anything to make it up. Let me stay by your side, she thought. Why isn't His Highness replying? The next moment she thought, Oh no, that's not good. The maid came and asked, What is the matter? Illegia replied, Nothing. I'm just a little tired, that's all. Thank you for the water. I'll let you know if I need anything, but until then, I'm just fine here alone. On the other hand, Emilio thought, These guys are always fighting. Then he looked to the other side, where the prince was looking at him. After that, Emilio asked, So what? The prince shouted, Shut up. Emilio replied, I didn't even say anything yet. That pretty much guarantees it was Illegia, right? The prince replied, I can't be sure yet, obviously. Why are you looking at me? Emilio told him, Nothing, just thinking about how pathetic it is that you ran away from her. Also, it's even more pathetic how you couldn't even dodge that old man's attack. The prince asked, I came to visit you, and this is how you treat me. Emilio stated, I skipped out on work for you, and you dragged me into this ridiculous conversation. Do you have anything to say for yourself? The prince said, Thank you. Emilio told him, All right. Let's go. Let's get you back to Illegia. All you have to do is ask her. The prince shouted, No, I can't do it. After that, the prince continued, I'm an injured person, you know. Emilio asked, How did you sneak out of the castle? The prince replied, I scaled the wall. There are lookouts, but there's no way they would ever catch me. Emilio said, That's sloppy. Then that should be it. There you go. The prince shouted, You idiot, I said I wasn't ready to go back yet. Illegia came and asked, "Your Highness, are you all right? I searched all over the castle but could not find you. I thought for a moment you might have left." The next moment Emilio also came. He asked, "What is up with this mood in the air? Seriously, what a pain. Anyway, Illegia, please give me a job." The prince said, "No, that is not why you are here." Emilio shouted, "Shut up. This is a matter of life and death, you idiot." The white horse was running toward them. A person shouted, "Get away from there." Emilio thought, "It is coming for me." The white horse started licking him. Illegia asked, "Are you all right?" The prince told her, "Stop. Once Emilio loses his temper, you never know what he will do." Emilio thought, "So cool." The prince thought, "What the hell?" A person asked, "Miss, who is that man?" Illegia replied, "He is an old friend of His Highness. He is not anyone suspicious, I promise." The person continued, "The white horse is so wild she does not let anyone but Valentina touch her. He is riding her and she is not even tacked up. Please come work in our stable." Illegia thought, "What a commotion." The prince thought, "What should I say to her? If my first love really is Illegia, then what should I do?" Then he asked, "Why are you crying?" Illegia replied, "I thought you hated me so much, you could not even talk to me." The prince hugged her and thought, "What is this feeling, and how long have I had it?" Illegia asked, "Your Highness, are you in pain? Are you all right? The castle is in complete chaos." The prince spoke, "Stop crying. I am alive. I am sorry, I just gotta go back inside." Illegia continued, "No, that is not what I meant. I am sorry. I need to tell you something first. It is my fault you were injured." The prince emphasized, "You already said it enough. Stop apologizing. If you really want to make it up to me, then stay by my side forever." Illegia replied, "I would love to. I will do my very best to fulfill my duty." The prince thought, it did not get through to her at all. Come to think of it, she has never really treated me like a man before. Illegia asked, "What is the matter, Your Highness?" The prince replied, "Nothing. I'm going to make you understand, so you better get ready." Next scene. The king said, "Come in." The prince came in. The king spoke, "How unusual. How is your wound?" The prince stated, "I hate you." The king thought, "I know that." The prince continued, "But you helped with Illegia's father, and I could not have taken care of that myself, so, thank you very much." The king replied, "Sure, it was no problem at all." After that, the king shouted, "Prime Minister." The prime minister asked, "What is the matter?" The king told him about the prince. Then he said, "Boys sure grow up quickly, it's a little sad." The prime minister continued, "That's true. It feels like just yesterday when both your majesty and Prince Oscar were children." The king told him, "You sound like an old man." The prime minister commented, "It might be time for you to speak with Prince Giles about his mother." The king asked, "But what should I say? Anything I say will just sound like an excuse. My wish is for Giles to grow to be a wonderful man. To one day become king and support Oscar. I wish for nothing else besides that. However, I do think we should expand Giles's horizons a bit. That long-distance trip we've been postponing, we'll have Giles go in my place." Next scene. Illegia thought, this day has finally come. The prince asked, "What are you sighing about?" Illegia asked, "How can you be so calm, Your Highness? We are heading to the Sorenson territory, which has its own unique traditions, and therefore is a region that strongly opposes the influence of the royal family. Its lord, Count Lori, is also said to have strong opinions on that matter. It's your first tour, Your Highness." She thought, "Lately, I feel like the prince's gaze is very intense, and ever since that day, he's changed a bit." The prince spoke, "Don't worry, I will protect you no matter what." Illegia commented, "I just hope everything goes smoothly and there is no trouble." The prince thought, "What is wrong with me? It's snowing." Then he thought, "I hope the slums are okay." Illegia was watching the snow very curiously. The prince asked, "Is it that unusual?" Illegia replied, "I have never really been able to enjoy the snow much." The prince told them to stop. Illegia asked, "What are you doing?" The prince replied, "Come on, you want to get a closer look at the snow, right?" Illegia replied, "Yes." The next moment, the prince saved her from falling. Illegia spoke, "I am so sorry, are you okay?" The prince told her, "I'm fine, I'm stronger than you think." On the other hand, a person said, "The second prince will arrive tomorrow." The count replied, "I see, I am looking forward to it, so much I can hardly stand it." Next scene. The prince said, "This city looks so different." The count came and said, "Welcome to the Sorenson domain." After that, the count told them, "The count is a busy man, so I can't tell you when he will be able to meet with you yet. The main residence is much different from the royal palace. It is much smaller, for one, but you will be staying here during your time in the domain." Illegia thought, "This might be a tougher situation than I expected. It does not seem like we are very welcome here. It is possible that the count refuses to meet with us while we are here. Perhaps I should raise my concern right away." The prince asked, "Wait, we are free to do whatever we want for a while." The count replied, "Yes, you are free to do as you please within the residence." Illegia tried to say, "But, Your Highness," the count continued, "if you will excuse me." The prince said, "Wait a second, what is your name?" The count replied, "I am merely a soldier. I am not worthy of telling my name to a prince." The prince said, "But I've got to call you something." The count told him, "I suppose my name is Aaron. It is nice to meet you." The prince also introduced himself, then said, "All right, let's go check out the city." The count emphasized, "It is best to stay in the residence, just in case." The prince asked, "Why don't you just come along with us if you're worried?" Illegia said, "Thank you so much." The count replied, "It looks like you've got your hands full with him." Illegia commented, "Well, I won't deny that, but you will never meet a kinder person than him. His Highness has already shown you kindness too." The count asked, "Are all ladies from the capital like you?" Illegia replied, "I'm not sure what you mean." The count continued, "I probably shouldn't say anything else." Illegia said, "I think that's wise." After some time, the prince was so excited and said, "Wow, it is so lively." The count replied, "Many tourists come to visit our city." Then he asked, "Do you need a hand?" Illegia replied, "Thank you, but I am fine." The prince said, "Sorry, here." Illegia replied, "Thank you." The count thought, so they are in that sort of relationship. The prince asked, "What is that?" An old lady asked, "I haven't seen you around before. Are you a tourist?" The prince replied, "That looks really delicious." The old lady asked, "Would you like to try one, on the house?" The prince said, "Of course." Then he asked, "What?" The count replied, "Nothing." He thought, "Is he really a prince?" The old lady asked, "Would you like one too, Sonny?" The count replied, "Yes, I will take one." The old lady started to say, "You are." The count told her, "Please don't say anything." After that, the prince said, "This is a great city." The count replied, "It is quite poor compared to the capital." The prince stated, "I have not seen any children pickpocketing, so that means there is plenty of food to go around, and this is a nice city." Suddenly, the prince got hit by a rock. There was a little boy who said, "Get out." The next moment, the little boy's mother came and said, "Stop it, I am so sorry, he is only a child, please spare his life." The child shouted, "Everyone hates your guts." The mother told him, "You must not speak badly of the royal family, please have mercy on him." The prince said, "What is going on here?" Then he heard whispers from the people, "I can't believe he showed up after what happened last time." The little child shouted, "Grandma can't walk anymore because of you. All you do is mean things. Just get out." The other people also shouted, "Get out." The prince said, "Aaron, please explain what is going on here." After some time, the count told them, "It was 3 years ago, the first prince came to Sorenson on a tour. The food was not to his liking, so he raised his hand against our servant and caused trouble in the market with the citizens during the visit. An elderly woman got caught up in his rampage and ended up paralyzed from the waist down. He also said many discriminatory remarks. We sent in many complaints about it." Illegia replied, "This is the first we have heard of it. In fact, we heard that it was the people of the Sorenson domain who caused problems." She thought that was probably due to the Oscar supporters covering up his misdeeds and blaming the guilt on others. The count continued, "There has still been no attempt by the royal family to make amends. We never even received an apology. The rift between us is too great to come to an understanding." Then at night, Illegia told him, "That should be all for today. If you would like, excuse me." The prince said, "Sorry, but can you stay with me for a while longer?" Illegia replied, "Sure." The prince continued, "I was thinking about apologizing to the victims." Illegia told him, "You must not, judging by these citizens' attitude toward you today. That would be too dangerous. Let's go back to the castle and report the incident first." The prince stated, "Before I used to think all nobles were the same way, but you taught me otherwise, and the people here think the same way about royals. So I want to show them that we are not the same, because holding hatred inside of you for a long time is really painful. Illegia told him, I am sorry for overstepping my bounds, let's discuss it with Aaron tomorrow. The prince replied, okay, thanks. Why do you always have to see me at my lamest moments ever? Illegia commented, you are not lame at all. The prince told her, a kid hit me with a rock, and now I am apologizing. Illegia emphasized, no, you are always incredibly amazing, your highness. The prince asked, what? Illegia replied, you are amazing. The prince told her, say it again. The next moment, Illegia looked at the rat, and then she screamed. The prince asked, what is wrong? The prince continued, you seemed fine with the mice back in the slums, were you just putting on a brave face? Illegia replied, yes. The prince asked, do you want to sleep together tonight? Illegia replied, yes. She thought, after saying all these things, I am not going to sleep alone. After that, the prince told her, have sweet dreams. The next morning, Illegia thought, I can't believe I slept in the same bed with a man before marriage. The count asked, are you sure about this? Illegia replied, yes, this is what His Highness wanted to do. Plus, part of the prince's charm is that he is a free spirit. The count said, it's really hard to believe he is here. Illegia kept saying that. The count continued, I mean it in a good way, I swear, by the way. A royal bowing his head to a commoner is a huge deal. I doubt the old guard in Parliament will stay silent about this. Illegia replied, I'm sure it will make a lot more work for me, but I don't care. I am so sorry if I was rude to you yesterday, please forgive me. The count replied, I was rude to you first, please lift your head. I never expected him to intervene in our relationship too. After that, the little kid shouted, I won't forgive you, got it? The prince told him, you don't have to, but don't take it out on everybody else like that. Then he said, I almost forgot, I have a favor to ask you. I want to speak with the count directly. I know it might be difficult to arrange. The count replied, it is fine, let's go right now. Next scene, the prince said, don't you think it is a bit too sudden? He is not here. The count said, forgive me for seeing you in this fashion, but I am the lord of this land, Lord Sorenson. The prince shouted, you've got to be kidding me. The count told him, the lady here caught on very quickly. The prince asked, what? Illegia replied, it was obvious to me that he was not behaving how a subordinate would behave. The prince asked, why didn't you say something? Illegia replied, because I was not positive, I thought it would just confuse you. The count continued, I really can't apologize enough, I would like to hold a banquet tonight, please allow me to formally apologize. The prince told him, thanks for going to all this trouble for us. Suddenly, the children came, one of them said, it's the bad prince, I swear it's him. The other one whispered, no way, why is he here, he's even got a mean face. The prince asked, what? The count stated, hurry up and apologize. The little one replied, but everyone says it. The count continued, no buts, first of all, I thought I told you, all of them said, big brother's mad at us now. The count said, I told you to stay in your room, then he said, I am really sorry about this, these are my siblings, but clearly, they could stand to have more education in etiquette. The prince replied, no worries, but you will pay for what you called me. The prince was now playing with them. The count said, I'm sorry, I can never scold them too harshly because I always feel like I'm picking on them. Illegia replied, you all seem very close. The count told her, not as close as you two, when are you getting married? Illegia commented, you must be joking, I come from a noble family, but I was disowned. The count emphasized, I'm sorry to hear that. Illegia told him, just the fact that the royal family agreed to hire me on as the prince's tutor is a miracle, and so, where are we going right now? The count told her, I would love for you to wear traditional clothing of Sorenson at tonight's banquet, would you mind? Illegia replied, I would love to. The count continued, wonderful, it's right in here, my father was a commoner, not only that, but an immigrant, when he married into this family, that's how things are in this domain, well, until tonight. One of the ladies said, the men of Sorenson are a bit lacking when it comes to self-confidence, come in, we're going to make you look as cute as a daisy. The count was blushing. After that, the prince thought, honestly, I can't believe it, that guy really is the prince. The next day, at night, the count said, tonight is a celebration. To see all the families and the people of Sorenson gathering together around the same bonfire is a miracle. Cheers to that. Then he said, sorry my speech was not more eloquent. If I keep them waiting too long, they tend to get a bit out of control. The prince replied, actually, I like that about everyone. The count continued, I appreciate the compliment. I've got high hopes for you, your highness. I hope that the day will come when everyone in the kingdom can enjoy the same way of life, no matter where they come from. The prince said, me too. The lady said, now, come on, stand up straighter. Illegia said, forgive me for being late. The prince thought, she looks so cute. The count said, you look very beautiful. Illegia replied, thank you. The prince asked, do you have anything with long sleeves she could put on? The count asked, is there something the matter? Illegia replied, no, it's just. I have scars, and it feels shameful to show them. The count continued, that must have been very painful. Does it still hurt? Illegia replied, no, she thought. He has scars from frostbite, and all the other people also have scratches. Then a little one came and told her, let's dance. Illegia was very happy and enjoying the moment. The prince was looking at them. After that, Illegia asked, excuse me, but where are we going? The count replied, I have something to show you. Now look over there. How about this? Illegia thought, wow, so beautiful. The count said, that reaction was better than I expected. Illegia asked, did you bring me all the way here to tease me? The prince replied, of course not, even though this is a borderland. Things are never boring here. I just wanted to tell you that. Illegia commented, I never thought it was boring. His Highness seems to be enjoying himself too. The count thought, is it always like this? It's because that munchkin prince is so much trouble. Then he said, all right, would you stay here in Sorenson and be my wife? Illegia started stepping back. The count continued, I won't let you run away or pretend this conversation never happened. This is my sincere confession of love to you. On the other hand, the prince thought, if we go back to the castle, Illegia has to keep hiding her burns with that pained look on her face, but if she wants to stay here, I can't let my selfishness keep her from doing that. One person asked, where have you been? The count replied, just somewhere, it's late, we should call it a night. After that, the prince thought, what should I say? Don't worry about the castle, I'll be fine. If you want to stay here, you can. Then he said, all right, I love you. The prince continued, no, I mean yes. I'm so stupid, I want you to smile, and I was thinking maybe you would be happier here in Sorenson. The count is a good guy after all. I guess you could say he's a man worthy of you, but I'm better, I can make you even happier. Sorry, I'm so childish. Illegia replied, I'm sorry, but could you repeat all that, please? The prince asked, are you making fun of me? Illegia replied, no. The prince again asked, then what are you doing? Illegia explained, you have said so many things to me. My mind can't keep up, and I don't fully understand my own feelings yet. The prince said, it's going to be good. Then they started kissing. On the other hand, the little child told him, that's enough alcohol. The count commented, is that any way to talk to your heartbroken brother? If you want Sorenson's support, please be my wife. I can't believe I said that. Then she looked at me, clearly thinking of another man. I'm hopeless. Then he remembered Illegia saying, I'm sorry, but I can't answer your feelings. I want to stay by Prince Giles' side. After that kiss, Illegia shouted, I just told you to say it one more time. That's it. The prince asked, did I make you uncomfortable? Illegia commented, I don't know what to do. Suddenly, a knight came and asked him, would you like to go back to your home? The prince replied, yes. Illegia said, good night. The prince stated, good night, but I'll say it as many times as you want me to. After some time, Illegia thought, what is happening? How improper of me. I can't believe I just sat on the floor. Be calm, once again. I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight. On the other hand, the first prince woke up. Mother said, I didn't think you were going to wake up this time. The prince replied, stop exaggerating, I just didn't feel well. Mother shouted, please don't scare me like that again. You're the only one I can count on. You have to become a wonderful king. You won't disappoint me, right? The next morning, the count said, it looks like both of you had a good night's sleep last night. Both of them thought, yeah, that's right. The count continued, I wish you could stay here longer. The prince replied, well, we want to hurry up. and go back to be careful so we can solve the problem that happened in Sorenson. The Count stated, "Thank you. Once you get back to the castle, I'm sure a lot of obstacles will be waiting for you. If you ever need my help, please let me know, and Sorenson will give you our full support." The prince replied, "I'm counting on you." When the prince's carriage was gone, the little one asked, "Brother, didn't you tell me that when you want something, you're supposed to use your words and say you want it?" The Count replied, "Why would you say that when I have a broken heart?" The little one said, "Because it's true." The Count told her, "Trust me when I say, I did say what I wanted, as much as I could." Next scene. The prince thought, it's already been a few hours, but she's been looking like this the whole ride. Then he asked, "Are you okay?" Illegia replied, "Yes, it's nothing." The prince commented, "You're such a weirdo. I love that about you." Illegia thought, "I can't breathe." After that, the prince said, "We're home, we've got a ton of things to do." Then they came out of the carriage. Emilio came and said, "Welcome back." The prince replied, "Thanks, this feels so weird." Illegia also said, "Thank you, it's good to be home." Emilio asked, "What's with you two? Did you finally do it?" Both of them froze. The next moment, the prince shouted, "Read the room, idiot." Illegia thought, "Did what?" Emilio continued, "Things just seem more peaceful between you two, is all. I'm glad things are going well. The wild prince has won the favor of the cold lord of the north. That's all people are gossiping about lately." The prince told him, "The roundabout way you're talking about this is creeping me out." Emilio stated, "I'm not the one saying it. Anyway, you've been doing too well lately, and the first prince is now in a total panic. Who knows what he'll do if you piss him off? That guy is totally nuts. You need to be careful, and so does Illegia." The prince replied, "Yes." After that, Illegia thought, "It feels like I was away for ages, but at the same time it's like I was here only yesterday. We're both so different from when we first met. I was desperate to find a place where I belonged." A maid came and said, "Welcome home." Illegia replied, "Thank you, it's good to be back." The maid asked, "I'll carry your bag for you." Illegia told her, "Thank you, but I don't have to carry it far." The maid continued, "I simply can't let you carry your own things. You're a very precious person to Prince Giles, after all." Illegia thought, "Precious?" The maid asked, "Is something the matter?" Illegia replied, "No, not at all." Then Illegia said, "At first it was only my intention to help him as much as I could," and she thought, "But at some point, being by his side just became natural. And to be honest, I'm not sure when or what happened to change things. I really don't think anything like that happened. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to babble." The maid told her, "I think we have to go." After some time, the head maid spoke, "I understand the situation. Let's hear some more details about this, shall we?" The head maid continued, "I'm surprised. I thought you were a smart person. Surely you don't mean to say you never noticed before?" Illegia replied, "I mean, he never acted like this before, I swear." The other maids told her, "Yes, he did. He's always worried about you working too hard, and he's always worried about other men flirting with you, so he quickly intervenes. And when he's with you, he acts helpless on purpose. He's even been learning about tea just for you." The head maid told them, "That's enough, it's shameful." Illegia asked, "He's learning about tea? That's probably because I was rambling about how much I liked it before and forced my hobbies on him." The prince came in and asked, "Granny, it's unusual for you to be in here also." The head maid replied, "You came at the perfect time, and I'm not old enough to be called Granny." Then she said, "Tea leaves, please." The prince asked, "What's going on?" The head maid replied, "Your Highness, what is this?" The prince said, "Nuwara Alia tea." The head maid continued, "And this?" The prince replied, "Keeman, of course." Then he asked, "Why are you giving me a pop quiz on tea?" Illegia stated, "Wow, I had no idea you knew so much about tea." The prince emphasized, "It's only natural for me to learn about the things the person I love is interested in, don't you think? And what's this?" Illegia replied, "Uva tea, that's my favorite tea." The prince told her, "I know, let's all drink it together, that's a royal order." After that, the prince said, "Things are unpredictable around here lately, so you shouldn't go off on your own so much." Illegia replied, "I admire you, and you are very precious to me." The prince said, "I want to learn more about you. I want to know about the things you like." Illegia continued, "I love you." The prince asked, "You're telling me here?" Illegia replied, "I'm sorry, I just couldn't take it anymore, I had to tell you. The prince hugged her and muttered, I'm so glad, if you do any more right now, I'm just gonna push you down on the spot. Illegia thought, what is happening? The servants were shouting, we still haven't found his majesty, are you sure? The prince thought, another moment ruined, then he asked, and why are you laughing? Illegia said, I'm sorry, it's just, this always seems to happen. The prince shouted, I said that because you told me that here, of all places, Illegia replied, but you told me your feelings in a hallway too. The prince continued shouting, that's true, then both of them started laughing. The prince told her, all right, time for a do-over, for both of us, let's go somewhere more appropriate, somewhere we can be alone on a date. Then tell me again when we're there, you're the one who told me to say it again, so don't tell me you can't do the same, teacher. Next scene, the knight said, Prince, you are not well enough to do this, please rest for a bit longer. Prince Oscar shouted, be quiet. I am better than him at everything, there isn't one thing he can beat me at, because I was born to be king. On the other hand, Illegia said, I got enough courage to say it once, I can't believe you're really making us do a do-over. The prince asked, why not, we're on a date. Call me Giles, Illegia replied, but, your highness, the prince continued, I don't have to say it again, do I? Illegia asked, what are we going to do today? The prince told her, there are still a lot of things you like to do that you haven't told me about, then they went to a cafe. After that, they were at the museum, while ignoring the pictures, they focused on a glass. The prince whispered, it's just a glass. After that, they were at the opera, the prince was sleeping. After the show, Illegia asked, it was really wonderful, wasn't it? The prince told her, I said I'm sorry, tell me more about it later, Illegia thought. I wish moments like these could last forever. Nobles were chatting, look, it's the second prince, he looks surprisingly elegant, isn't that his tutor next to him? She's really done well for herself, hasn't she? How long is the prince going to keep some disowned ex-noble by his side? The prince stated, keep facing forward. Illegia replied, yes, that's right. The nobles thought, what the hell is going on? They came out of the hall. Illegia told him, I can't believe the day is over already. She thought, it feels like I'm forgetting something. The prince tried to say something. Illegia asked, what's the matter? The prince commented, I'm sorry, this isn't the right place for it, can I take you to one more place? Illegia replied, sure. After some time, Illegia said, the slums at night feel so different. The prince replied, it's quiet, right, there it is, give me the lantern, now watch this. I can't tell the difference between a fancy piece of art and this ordinary glass, because both look equally beautiful to me, Illegia said, I think it's beautiful too. The prince asked, which one is better, these or the auroras you saw with Lori? Illegia told him, they were both very beautiful, I mean, this is way more beautiful. The prince continued, after I saw Count Lori's domain, I thought something has to change so I could be able to call out things that are beautiful, so, I'm going to become king. Illegia told him, I will fight for you. The prince emphasized, let's fight together. Illegia switched to work mode and said, that means we'll have a lot of things to do. The prince said, wait, did you forget the whole purpose of this date? You are beautiful. I love you. Illegia replied, wait, I'm not emotionally ready for this. The prince asked, what's your answer? Illegia replied, I love you too. A few months later, the prince was doing a great job. The prime minister said, he's been working so diligently lately, it's like he's a different person. The king replied, he's doing such a purposeful job. The prince asked, can you show me those documents? One person replied, I'm sorry, but right now Prince Oscar has them. On the other hand, Prince Oscar thought, I was born with everything, at least that's what I thought. He remembered the doctor saying, he's doing well, as he gets bigger, as long as he builds up enough strength and stamina, I'm sure there will be nothing to worry about. Prince asked, will I be able to become a wonderful king like my father? The doctor replied, yes, of course. Then one day, the queen shouted, you got a servant girl pregnant, was this your way of showing how much you scorn me and Oscar? Prince thought, what will happen with the rights of succession if the king has a love child, and I'm still sick, this is quite bad. The queen stated, you are going to become king, no matter what anyone says, you will do it, won't you? Now back in the present time, a maid shouted, please stop, your highness. The prince asked, what's the matter? The first prince shouted, shut up, I am the future king, don't interfere with me. Prince Giles said, "What?" The first prince shouted, "If not for you, mother never would have been in pain, and the same goes for me. My life is completely worthless if I don't become king." Prince Giles told him, "I am going to become king, but that doesn't mean you can't go on living, just live your life however you want." After some time, Illegitimate asked, "That's what Prince Oscar said?" The prince replied, "Yes, maybe all mothers are like that." Illegitimate told him, "I only have vague memories of her, but my mother was a very warm person." The prince commented, "I'm glad." Illegitimate asked, "Were you ever lonely?" The prince said, "Yes, a little." Illegitimate emphasized, "I know, come here, don't you want a hug?" The prince asked, "Right now?" Illegitimate told him, "I see." The prince grabbed her. Illegitimate said, "I'm sorry, you're going to have a packed schedule today, so let's continue this later." The prince commented, "You seem busier than me." Illegitimate stated, "That's right, I won't let anyone else be by your side." The days are going by fast. Both of them are working very hard. Then one day, the king spoke, "Illegitimate, you have done splendid work since coming to the castle. You have educated my slightly unruly son to become a wonderful prince. We have resumed trade with Sorenson, introduced related legislation, and so on. It would take too long to list your achievements involving political affairs here." Prime Minister Leonardo says, he is finally able to sleep at night for the first time in a long while. Illegitimate replied, "I am honored to receive such compliments." The king continued, "And so, I would like to reward you for your efforts. Is there anything you would like? Don't tell me you won't accept it." Illegitimate replied, "Thank you, your majesty, I would be honored. Please give me a noble title." The king stated, "Why didn't you say so earlier? I just thought you were not interested in such things." Illegitimate admitted, "I know asking for such a thing is self-indulgent, but I want to earn it on my own." The king spoke, "Very well then, I hereby bestow upon you a title of nobility." The queen stated, "Your majesty, I have something to say as well. My son Oscar hereby relinquishes his rights of succession, and he and I shall withdraw to the royal villa, where we shall live from now on. I had long thought that becoming king would make him happy, but I had no idea that it was the thing causing him the most misery." The king asked, "Wait, what are you talking about? Let's sit down and discuss this." The queen continued, "There is nothing more to say about it, but I suggest you take a long, hard look at yourself, and ask yourself why it is that you only see things as you wish to see them." The king asked, "What in the world was that all about?" The prince spoke, "The fact that you don't know is your answer." The king replied, "That is all for today." The prince told her, "Come over here. What is this about a noble title?" Illegitimate replied, "I needed it so I can stay by your side." The prince asked, "Why couldn't you wait until I could do something about it?" Illegitimate explained, "Because I'm a restless person. Also, I'm confident that I won't let this status get to my head. It's all just a means to an end. It's all thanks to you. Now, I have a mountain of work to get back to. It's your turn next." The prince replied, "Yes, that's right." After that, the prince asked, "Do you think I'm done with my lessons?" Illegitimate replied, "Yes, definitely." The prince commented, "Then I guess that means you're fired, teacher." Illegitimate replied, "That's true, that's a shame. I suppose now that I'm out of a job, we won't see each other much anymore." The prince told her, "Wait a minute." Illegitimate spoke, "Time waits for no one. Today is your succession ceremony." The prince said, "They can wait for a little while. Time really flew by, didn't it?" He thought, "I feel like I'm forgetting something." Illegitimate asked, "What's the matter? Did something happen?" The prince replied, "No, it's not important. Well, okay. When you were little, did you ever offer your handkerchief and bread to a boy in the slums?" Illegitimate was thinking. The prince continued, "I figured you would not remember. It's just in your nature to do something like that, so it makes sense if you wouldn't remember it. That's part of the reason why I fell in love with you. We can talk about it later, because time waits for no one. Remember, come on." Illegitimate thought about it, then she said, "But I." The prince stated, "You're fired as my tutor, but will you stay by my side and smile forever?" Illegitimate replied, "You're supposed to wait until after someone answers to put the ring on." The prince told her, "It's fine." After some years, the king asked, "What are you doing?" The little one replied, "None of your business, Dad, but if you must know, I'm looking at birds." The prince continued, "Looking at birds, huh? Well, it's dangerous. Let's look at them from the second floor balcony, come on." there she comes, good girl, but just promise you won't jump out the window." The little girl replied, "I wouldn't do that." The prince told her, "Your mom did." The little girl commented, "Liar, mom wouldn't do such a thing." The prince asked, "Who do you trust more, me or your mom?" The little girl replied, "Mom." The prince said, "Of course." Then he thought, time passes quickly. This is the end of the story. Like this video, hit the like button, and subscribe for more videos.